Bounce back resiliency. Use grit. This is a presentation of Beautiful Summer Morning. My name is Nick Grimshaw. Grit, resiliency, persistence, and resolve are all related. They define a person who refuses to give up when life doesn't go their way. This is a powerful skill to have at your disposal because life will inevitably hand you a lot of hardship to deal with. Maybe you wish you were a little more resilient. If that's the case, there's good news. This isn't something you're either born with or not. It can be developed. Anyone can learn to bounce back quickly from difficulties and adapt to the ever-changing world. One way to build the resilience and determination to recover from negative life events is to follow the GRIT formula. Gratitude, relax, inhale, try again. Express gratitude. Resilient people don't take things for granted. They express gratitude for the blessings in their lives. They understand that they had to work hard to get where they are. They're also grateful for the wonderful people in their lives. To become more resilient, you should also express gratitude for the challenges life has given you. They are perfect opportunities for growth and learning. The person who goes through life with no hardship doesn't achieve much. So be grateful for the difficulties you're forced to overcome because you build more and more resilience with each one of those hard or difficult moments. And one of our biggest suggestions for expressing gratitude, this is something new we've just started to do, and we're recommending that you try this method of gratitude because it takes you a little deeper. And that is to sit quietly anywhere. You can sit outside, you can sit in a room. It doesn't matter where you are. At that moment, just stop and look around you and look at the things that are within your sight. So for instance, this morning I was looking at sunlight falling on a vase. And when we look at that, we have to start thinking about all the things, all the amazing things that had to happen for that vase to be in that spot, caught in the sunlight at that moment, at that hour of the day. And when you start looking at things that way, the gratitude just bubbles up within you because some artist somewhere that I have never met created the art on that vase. Now that vase may have been mass produced in a factory somewhere, I don't know. But the fact is that the artist created the original painting to go onto the vase, a stencil that goes on the vase. And then it was manufactured. So then you have to think about all the things that have to happen for mass production of a vase that we could buy fairly reasonably in a store and bring into our home and set it in the perfect place. When you look at things that way, everything becomes full of gratitude because it is so amazing how what you're looking at got to be there right now. Try that and sit quietly and look at things and then imagine what it took for those things to be sitting where they are right now in this moment. Relax. Stress is the enemy of resilience. You might have high levels of grit and resolve. Even so, constant stress can break down the strongest people. That's why you need to learn to relax from time to time. Give yourself a break. If you're working hard, take some time off. You can't keep your brain or your body entirely committed to a high level of activity all of the time. That's a recipe for burnout. Overtime is when you have too much stuff happening and all your creativity begins to clog up, and that's when you need to take a break. Now, there are several ways you can do this, and one of them is to make sure each week you're scheduling a time for you just to go out and enjoy the sunlight, or go for a walk, or just sit quietly and do nothing and just relax. Another way or another method to employ is use a 5 or 10-minute break after each hour of work, where you go and do something physical, or something where you're exercising or you're stretching, because most of the work we do these days is mental, and it may not seem difficult or hard, but that is building up a lot of resilience, a lot of energy, and a lot of effort that we don't even realize is happening. So when we can take that moment and take a moment to relax, and make sure you're scheduling that time for you to take a break, to get away from the high demands of whatever it is that you're working on. Inhale. Do this the next time something in your life threatens your self-control. And how many times does that happen? When life deals you a setback, don't respond immediately. Don't react, just inhale. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and calm down. Remind yourself that you've been through a lot in your life, and you'll also get through this. This too will change. Take a deep breath and let them out slowly. Remember that we often paint a nightmare scenario that has no chance of coming true, but we've created this scenario, this horrible thing in our heads, and we build it up and we build on it, and we need to take a break from it to break that circuit. And we do that by stopping and taking a deep breath and relaxing. And that's such an important thing to do, to give you that time, to give that moment, so that you're not reacting to what's happening to you. Because when you start reacting, then the world is controlling what you do, and you have lost control of creating your own life in that moment. So remember, when things start to pile up in your head, or you begin to get frazzled, or the driver in front of you is driving you crazy because they're crawling along in an 80-mile zone, remember to stop, inhale, relax. Give yourself that moment of reflection, that moment to find that deep calm that is always within you. And finally, the T is try again. If you fail, so what? Don't let failure define you. You're only a failure if you accept that judgment about yourself. So if you stop trying to blame yourself or compare yourself to others, to think that you're not making the progress that somebody else is, or that something you've been working on hasn't turned out exactly the way you want it, stop. Remember, you can go back and try again. Thomas Edison failed more than 1,000 times before he was successful inventing a light bulb. He just kept going back and back and back. Okay, this method doesn't work. Let me try this method. Okay, this method didn't work. Let me do it this way. And that's the same actions that we all need to take when we meet that obstacle, or we seem to not making progress, or we seem to have failed. It's to stop and go, okay, let's try this. How can I look at this situation differently? What other solutions can I think of? And go back to the drawing board, as they say, and try again. Never to give up, to keep going. That's resilience. That's bounce back resilience. So if you want bounce back resilience, then use this GRIT formula. Remember it, write it down, copy it. It's easy to remember. GRIT, gratitude, R, relax, I, inhale, T, try again. It's a simple formula that you can use every day in everything that you're doing to help you build that bounce back resilience. Use it. That's the most important thing. It's great to hear the theory, but when you actually put it into practice, you begin to see the results of the work you are doing. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. This has been a presentation by Beautiful Summer Morning. And just as a reminder, we believe that a positive mind is the foundation for all spiritual growth here at Beautiful Summer Morning. And we recommend you start your journey by requesting our free copy of How to Write and Use Powerful I Am Affirmations. We believe that positive affirmations are the beginning point of moving from a negative mindset to a positive one. And reading this report will help you be able to write and use powerful I am affirmations, and to understand what a positive affirmation really is. I really urge you to download that. Use the link or click the link here in this slide, and we will see you again soon. And remember always, dream big and live inspired.